Yo, what's good everyone? This is Yo Boxing with Madiba, and we're here to talk about the next move for Keyshawn Davis. So Keyshawn just came off a good win against Anthony Yeat. It was pretty much a one-sided domination from Keyshawn, but it was exciting. He really got the crowd into the fight. And contrary to what the haters say, I thought Yeat was a good opponent for Keyshawn. Yeat has a win over Sandor Martin, and his only losses prior to Keyshawn were against Ivan Baranchyk in a title fight and Toroli Romero in an interim title fight. So this was a good step up compared to the previous opponents that Keyshawn has faced. And despite getting outclassed and getting stopped in the ninth, Yeat came to fight, so I gotta respect him. In the post-fight interview, Keyshawn did a subliminal call-out targeting Frank Martin, and Frank would answer this call-out on his Instagram, telling Keyshawn he should have just said his name instead of sneak dissing. And this type of exchange between Keyshawn and Frank is not new. They have been in a Cold War for more than a year, but this exchange they had has been the biggest one so far. And I think this year, 2023, is the best time for them to fight. Both have momentum, both are seen as top prospects turning contender at lightweight, both have skills and talent, and the fans want to see it. Keyshawn is 24 years old and is looking for a fight to put him into title contention and also make him a bigger name. Frank is 28 years old and has the mentality of fighting anyone. He is also looking for a fight that'll make him a bigger star within boxing. This is a perfect opportunity for them to fight, but can it happen? There's several reasons why this fight will not happen this year. Biggest reason is promotional issues. Keyshawn's with Top Rank while Frank Martin is signed to Errol Spence, which means he's with PBC and Showtime. I doubt that Bob Arum and Al Heyman would be willing to co-promote to make this fight. They're not big enough names yet, so there's no money incentives and the risk outweigh the gain. I doubt that Bob Arum would allow his top prospect to be in a risky fight at this stage in his career. And there's enough lightweight signed to PBC and Showtime to make interesting matchups, so I doubt that Al Heyman and Spence would allow their top prospect to cross the pond to fight. Furthermore, Frank Martin is ranked higher than Keyshawn, so why risk losing his current position? The only hope for this fight to happen is if Errol Spence and Terence Crawford fight this year. If that happens, it will make perfect sense to put them as an undercard. Keyshawn is trained by Bomac and is mentored by Crawford, while Frank is signed to and mentored by Spence. Keyshawn has a similar style to Crawford, and Frank has a similar style to Spence. The storyline of the fight is already there, which means the fans will be invested and interested. It will be the perfect co-main to a fight that has been long overdue. Alexis Roca has now moved on and is fighting another opponent, so there may be some hope that the news of Crawford and Spence fighting in June is true. But the real question is, who will win, Keyshawn or Frank? I think it's a 50-50 fight, but let's compare the two. Keyshawn has more overall boxing experience compared to Frank. Keyshawn started young and has an Olympic and amateur background. He's an Olympic silver medalist, while Frank started boxing late, around the age of 17 if I'm not mistaken. Frank, on the other hand, has more professional experience than Keyshawn. Keyshawn only has 8 pro fights while Frank has 17. However, Keyshawn hasn't struggled with any of his opponents. Keyshawn has dominated and outclassed everyone he's fought. Frank has also dominated and outclassed most of his opponents he has faced, but he did struggle with a few. Most notably was Jackson Marinas. But Frank has fought better competition compared to Keyshawn. The best opponent that Keyshawn has faced was Yeat, but Frank has beaten Michel Rivera, Jackson Marinas, Romero Duno, and Jerry Perez. Furthermore, in my opinion, Frank has a better trainer than Keyshawn. Frank is trained by Derek James, and Keyshawn is trained by Bomac. Bomac is a good trainer, but Derek James' resume speaks for himself. The way how Derek James gets his fighters to make adjustments mid-fight is amazing. I haven't really seen that with Bomac outside of Terence Crawford. This is a 50-50 fight, and I hope they make it happen this year. But who knows, this is boxing, anything can happen. But thank you for tuning in with Yo Boxing with Madiba. Hit like and subscribe, and more content is coming your way.